Hello, it's Mike with TradeWinds RV Center here to congratulate you on your Forest River Work and Play 19 CB toy hauler travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around and show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple of things to take into consideration when you're parking on your campsite. Leave plenty of room for that awning. On your off campsite, no slide to worry about, so I really just want you to think about where your power and water connections are. And they're all right here. So your power is going to plug in here, your city water connection here. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, first thing you're going to do is level our unit. It comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply lower or raise the unit. Now should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper, the crank that'll bring your stabilizing jacks down, we'll get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose going down the road. Then once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit got these 3/4 inch stabilizing jacks. Got a hand crank for that. Can't use an impact driver or drill gun. I just recommend you slow down when you get to the bottom. Also going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. They're going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris. Keep them from sinking into the hot blacktop in the summertime. Run these down on top of those just until they're taut. Remember, our unit's already level. All we're trying to do now is stabilize it. So once you've got resistance here, stop. Get all four of those down. Got the unit level and stable. We can go ahead and hook up our power and water. Big, long 30 amp cord. Plugs in here on the side. Now, this is a pistol grip, so it's going to come in at about 11 o'clock and then turn it to noon and put on your black washer. Now at the end of that 30 amp service, should you need to plug into a 110, and your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Got your power hooked up, hook up your water. At campsites, you're going to hook up to a city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. I always use these when putting water in here because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up, hook up your hose. Don't turn your hose on yet. Find your hot water heater. Bam, right there. All we're doing at this point is making sure our drain plug's in here. Plastic ones, you don't need anything. But if you are going to put anything on it, put tape, not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Get that in there nice and snug. Once that plug's in there, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been on, we're going to go inside, open up all of our water taps, get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water. You shut them off, you're all set to camp. Let's say we're going to go dry camping instead. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank. It's going to be right in between your tires here. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can gravity fill that with a hose. Two ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or two, on when you check the inside where you got your black and gray tanks, there's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that. Once it's full, remove that hose, and then whenever you want to get that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hook to the city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp. Power and water. Let's walk you around the rest of the unit. Continue here on the off camp side. This spray port hose in here where you're prepped for a generator. Hot water heater here. Down below that is going to be our black and gray tanks that we'll dump later. Access panel to the back of your fridge. A vent for your hood range indoors. Power. A couple of 110s. Or no, this is our cable and satellite, excuse me. City water connect. Black tank flush, which we'll talk about when we dump our black and gray tanks. Low point drains up underneath there. A flue for your furnace, couple things on that. One, steer clear of it if you run it does get hot. Two, make sure nothing's ever blocking it. This is where your spray port hose can hook up at. Your fueling station, that's where you turn it on at. That's where your fuel's at. Got a couple of vents to push that out from indoors to vent this out in case you have toys in there. We'll bring down our ramp here in a little bit. Got an awning. Recommend on awnings are for shade. Light rain, you can tilt this way and run your water array. But recommend to bring these in rainstorms or high winds. They're really just great for shade. A couple outdoor speakers. Coming up your campsite. Here's a couple of 110s that were out here. No storage in here. Some lighting. Your propane does come with a cover. Has a regulator up front, lefty loosey to open. Green means you've got gas. It's pointed toward the tank you wish to be using. Up front here, you can plug in a solar panel here. That'll trickle charge your batteries. Over here's your battery disconnect. That would disconnect all the battery power to the unit. Underneath there is your spare tire. It covers everything out here. So take a look on the inside. Alright, so coming up inside the unit, first thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. To my right as I come in is going to be a control panel. Up here is where, once you have your generator hooked up, is where you will start and stop that, show you your hours and all that on here. Here's where you see your battery, fresh, black, and gray tanks. That fresh button's the one I said to hold down when you're filling your fresh tank. Here's where you turn on your water pump to get that fresh water. Here's where you turn on your water heater if hooked to electric, your water heater if hooked to gas. It does make a difference. Choose correctly. There's an entry light and tons of lights here. Awning, ramp, steps, accent lights, and then your awning. Extend and retract. You only want to extend that out until you can see that flap fall down. If you were to hold that extend down, that would start to run itself up onto itself and run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you're running it out. You're running it out as far as you need to. Again, bring it in high winds and storms. Shut off that awning light. I'll get that out there. And as that comes in, I can tell you that slam locks work best when gently slammed. Alright, coming into the unit, as I mentioned outside, this is a vent. You can push that open to air this out in case you got a couple of toys up in here. We've got a sound system up here, and up here, AM, FM, Bluetooth, really cool sound system. Down below that is a TV. Found it in a drawer where it's supposed to be. New TV on. I will tell you what you're going to want to do is when you get to the campsite, you're going to want to go into your settings, run a digital channel scan so you can pick up all the local channels when you arrive. There it goes. That would be in the menu area there. Be an antenna scan in there. Alright. Remote back in the drawer. With your cotter pins, I'm going to pull these out. It's going to come in handy when we bring your bunk up. Speaking of your bunk, it's down right now. There's your ladder to get up top and your bottom set up as beds. Now let's say we want to turn these bottoms into chairs. Simply pull back on this and then flip this up and backwards. You also have these cup holders. Sorry. Got these cup holders. Same thing on both sides. Or bring everything back down. Remove our ladder here. Now I'm going to quickly show you how to bring this up. Over here. Bring that up. What that's going to do is this is going to catch your top bunk. Got up here some speakers, smoke alarm. I'm waiting for this to bring this up for you. So once this bunk gets all the way to the top, those 4 cotter pins will go into this bottom hole right here. And then when you bring this down, it's going to bring down just the chairs. That way you can have down just the chairs while leaving the bunk up during the day, or leave everything up to use it as your toilet hauler. You got window shades. There, those go up. So your cotter pin, you see, be a spider out this corner here. Find the hole. Get that up in there and across. Grab another one here and come to the front. Alright, place cotter pin in each corner. And as you see, what that does now is that holds that top bunk up. And you can bring just the bottom down. Bring that back up for you. Again, you can leave that up. There's a toy hauler, emergency escape window, another vent. Down next here is your propane carbon monoxide detector. That is 12 volt. So the reason I mentioned that, that's always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camping with this, out boondocking somewhere, and you're going to be gone for the day out with your toys, use that battery disconnect on the front to keep this from running your battery down. That will trickle charge to run your battery down. Up here, a self-explanatory microwave. Down here, light and fan. Down here, hit this to spark. Same thing here. You usually got to hold this in, but get enough gas in these. Now, when you first arrive, you may have to bleed these. Hit it a few times, get some gas into the lines. Dometic fridge. All you gotta do is plug that in here, turn that on here, excuse me, push that in. Auto means when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you're on gas. Lift that up, you're strictly on gas. If that light comes on, your gas is low. Down below that, you break your box of fuses. Ton of 15s, a 10, couple 20s, a 40. Nice little variety. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Go to our thermostat. Crank our air up one time. There's our AC going. Lay your header down here. Your AC does have a quick dump. Open that up to let air in quick. Sorry, I'm kind of short. Down here, shut the air off. It usually shuts off rather quickly. Oh, wait, not that. So you got a hand crank open fan here. Most AC shut off quick. There that goes. Now I'm going to turn on your furnace. With my return, you hear that kick on here. Now you notice when I shut your furnace off, you will hear that fan run for a little while before it actually shuts off. In our bathroom, we got another hand crank open. Power exhaust vent here. This glass doors, you want to leave these snapped open for travel. You don't want to bounce around. Put that lock on there and make sure that it ain't moving. Also in here, you got your 110 with GFCI reset. And I believe that about covers everything on the inside. It's like we're getting ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. Alright, before we close up, I'll show you how to use your ramp here. Two ways you can open this. There's a handle right here that'll bring it down. Just pull on that and come around back. Or bring your key. The key will lock right in there. So release that from in there. Bring that down. Your cables are going to help you glide that down all the way to the ground for your ramp. Again, there's a handle I pulled for that. Bring that back up. Again, that cable really assists in lifting this. You see it's kind of floating as we speak. You will hear this lock in. Give it a good pull. Then you know you're locked. First thing I like to do is come to my control panel, shut off all my lights, and then I can see if I left out any accent lights. Just this one over the stove here. Turn my entry light back on and say doors and drawers. Walk through your unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Everything is secure for travel. Shut off our lights and exit the unit. One thing on these steps, bringing them up or down, you want to make sure your exterior door is all the way open, otherwise this piece will catch on it. They are adjustable by moving that cotter pin, and they lock in with this handle here. So before you leave the dump station, and I say that because you're going to get back in here and look at your dump. When you're dumping, you're going to look at the levels of your tanks, but before you leave, lock, deadbolt, lift and turn that handle. That's how you want that for traveling. If we are dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks, come around here and dump our freshwater drain, which could be in between tires there. Up in there, dump that out, hook up our hitch and head on home or the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we're going to hook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's going to be right in front of your tires on your off-camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up, and you see we've got 3 spots. We've got a wastewater, a sewer, and a galley. We're going to start with sewer, which is back here, that black one. Hook up, pull that black handle. Once it sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank, which shows empty. Come back out here, leave that handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook it up to this black tank flush. Turn that on, again emphasizing leaving that black handle open. Let that run for a good 5 minutes. It's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, close that up. Make sure all that backwash or washout that you just put in there has drained. Then close that black handle, and we'll pull this waste holding tank here, which is going to be your gray tanks. When that one's done, come back down and pull this last galley tank. So usually while my galley tanks are draining, we'll dump our low point drains. So right up underneath here, right there, come to there. Come to your hot water heater. If you're done camping for the season, you don't want to leave a bunch of stagnant water in here. Come in here, lift up on this pressure release valve. Careful, that's going to dump hot water out of there. When it's done, push that back down, otherwise your door ain't going to open or close. And then pull that drain for your residual hot water. When your grays are done, grab that sewage hose, store it in a nice sanitary place, and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this work and play for many years to come. Happy camping.